Yeah. Yep. Winter wonderland over here. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas. Oh man. Guess who needs to clean off vehicles and clean off the solar panels? My Starlink is still on the ground, poor thing, and covered in snow, but it was still working all morning, so I guess that's fine. Oh, I'm not a fan, you guys. That is how much snow we got. Any amount is too much for my liking, but you know, that's just me. The way the trees all slope over my driveway looks like a literal tunnel. Oh my gosh, Rory, it's like a blizzard out there. I hope that's just snow blowing off the roof, man. I'm over it. I'm over it already. He's just sitting up there enjoying his nice warmth. You're enjoying the warmth, aren't you? Alright, keep at it. Good morning, dude. Running the generator. Excuse me, just woke up. Ooh, it's my day off. And this time of year, because it's winter, I run my fridge on the EcoFlow. It was down to 9%, so obviously I'm recharging it. I do this because the power stations are way faster to recharge than the house battery, you know, the LifePo 4 battery. Those types of batteries can take hours to recharge. So instead, I run the fridge off of the power stations through the winter. My battery is in under the couch, and normally I charge that at the same time I'm, you know, charging everything else, but I charged my LifePo 4 battery to full yesterday, which was 13.5. So it's at 13.3, that's not too bad. Jackery is recharging at the same time. Surprisingly, another mild one, 9.6 degrees Celsius. It's supposed to go up to 12 and be very rainy and windy today. Good morning. I realize my hair is probably all over the place, but this is morning hair, don't care. Rory's back out on the catio. It's a lot of days I have to close that up completely because it's just too cold and drafty in here, and on those days he doesn't really like to go out there anyway, so today is exceptionally mild. I said it before and I'll say it again. When I mentioned the fact that we have fluctuating temperatures here, I'm not kidding. Today is plus 10 and supposed to get up to plus 12 in mid-December. You can see that, 10 degrees, 21 in here. Fire's completely out. I need to scoop ashes, clean the stovepipe out later. I have a small project that is going to take priority here pretty soon because it was supposed to rain all day today, which is why I didn't plan for installing windows today, because it was supposed to rain all day. Nice and mild, so it would have been a great day to do it. But now I just checked the weather and it's not supposed to start raining until 4, which still doesn't mean I'm going to get the windows done because there's more planning involved than just quickly getting it done. But I do have a small project that does involve cutting a hole in the side of the box truck. Anyway, I will need to get that done here pretty soon. Like I said, I want to get it done before it starts raining. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. It was sunny, plus 6. Wasn't much wind, but your girl was working 12 hours. So some days are like that. I get up and go to work when it's dark. I come home and it's dark and there's no time in between to get anything done. This just happens to be my 3-day weekend. The weather, not so great all weekend. Today was supposed to rain hard all day long. Tomorrow is kind of a write-off project-wise, but not a total write-off. I'm going to visit our boy Ramsay. Would like to get a visit in with him before Christmas. So doing that tomorrow. Sunday, when I'm off, back to rain. Yeah. Okay, let's hurry up and get a start on this before the skies open up and it rains before it's supposed to, now that the weather's changed. That's what it does here. All right, I removed the bottom piece of insulation there. I'm gonna need to take a quick little measurement and drill my first hole. Okay. I hope that will be a good spot. Might drill my hole maybe slightly above that. I don't know. I don't know. This is always nerve-wracking. I'm just gonna put a tiny hole in here first. Ooh. Okay, there's a hole in the wall. Doesn't take much effort for that. You'll see where it's at on the outside. Okay, this is where it's at here. That looks like an okay spot. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to drill a much larger hole right there from the outside. Okay, I'm through. Now for this one. This one's the scary one. Anybody understand what I'm doing yet? Hopefully that's all lined up proper. There's one. 2, 3. Now we just need to go do the other side. Okay, so if you're wondering what the heck this thing is, it's a diesel heater exhaust port. It does have a rubber gasket on this side. There's one on the other side as well. I might still silicone around this. Not sure if I'm going to do it today. Oh my goodness. Windy! It's mild, but it's windy. You guys are probably a little confused as to why I said that that was temporary, but for now, I knew that I was going to need heat in here, so I put a little exhaust port for the diesel heater right there. That type of exhaust port is great for an all-in-one unit because it will sit on a stand and you know, you can run the exhaust hose right to it. My second diesel heater that I own, which was actually the first one that I bought, was an all-in-one unit. I completely took it apart. I might tinker with it and see if I can get it working again, because I think I know why it wasn't working. And if I can get it working, I'll stick it in here, hook it all up, and then I'll have heat in here, which will be great for cold temperatures, which are coming. The reason you might be confused is because I put this here and said that it was temporary. I bought a brand new diesel heater for the box truck with the intention of installing it by plumbing the exhaust through the floor. There's just a part that I need that I don't have, which is basically like a 4-inch flange just to keep the heat off the wood when the exhaust runs down and underneath. Don't have that, and since I already had this diesel heater exhaust port, I just thought I would use it while I have it. Now you might be wondering, how is it temporary when you just put a hole in your wall? Well, eventually, when I plumb my diesel heater through the floor, I can take that port out and create a bigger hole and put a vent there, because I plan on venting both sides of the little garage space in here anyway. So I didn't do that for nothing. I didn't just put a hole in the wall for nothing. Eventually a larger hole will be there and a vent will be there. But for now, we have an exhaust port, and yes, the exhaust pipe will be in here with me, but I will try my best to promise a tight connection. And also I will have carbon monoxide detectors in here with me while I'm working. Mostly because I don't want to die. I'm not ready for that yet, okay? But for now, I thought this would be a good solution. Like I said, I do plan on putting an a vent in there anyway. So that's that. So that's a good temporary solution. Now I just have to get a diesel heater in here. It makes me feel just a little bit better drilling a hole of that size as opposed to like a 4-inch hole through the floor just yet. I know that's coming eventually, but also it's going to like pour this evening, so I'll be able to see if this is going to leak around here or not. And if it does, it's just going to leak and fall down into this little, you know, channel inside here. So I'll test it out tonight with, you know, the pouring rain that's coming. The original diesel heater that I had set up outside my window, I later took apart, put it under my fridge and ran it inside for a while, and then it stopped working mysteriously without any error codes. I believe I know why it stopped working, which I'll get to later. But I might try to hook that all back up and see if I can get it working, and if it works, I'll try to put it back together as an all-in-one unit and stick it inside the box truck for heating over the winter. If I can get this old one to work, I may as well just use that for now until I'm ready to install the brand new one and plumb the exhaust through the floor. So we'll see where we can get with this. Here's my old one in here laying in the shed, kind of in pieces. And when my wood pile fell not that long ago, it's put back together now. But kind of landed on a few pieces here, so, well, not too bad actually. Didn't completely break anything, and these are just cardboard tubes. If you know anything about the diesel heater, stuff that comes with the diesel heaters, I should say. So, yeah, I've got this completely ripped apart because, like I said, it was in under my fridge. So I might just mess with it enough to see if I can get it working today. And if it does work for me, great. I'm just throwing this diesel heater together to see if it's going to work. I'm not doing super tight connections. I just want to test it and see if it's going to work. Fingers crossed it does. If it does, I'll try to put it back together as kind of an all-in-one unit, stick it in the box truck to use for the winter for now until I permanently install the brand new one that I have still in the box. But yeah, this one, we're just we're testing this out to see if we can get this old one to still work. Okay, before we go back outside, here is our old controller, which we're gonna need to see if the battery is hooked up properly to the diesel heater. Sorry about the wind. Temporary setup, like I said, we're just literally testing it to see if it's going to blow some heat. Yeah, I put a little bit of diesel fuel in that old tank there, hooked up to the battery. Now I've just got to connect this with that and then hook up the controller to that right there, and we'll see we'll see if it's gonna work.
Yay, we have power!
That's awesome. Now I wonder if I remember how to prime this thing. Oh my gosh, this wind. I had to watch a quick video because I couldn't remember how to do this. The remote is slightly different than mine, so... Oh no, this isn't gonna be it. This isn't how you prime it. Maybe it's these two at the same time. Oh, that's it. On. Oh, hear the pump? Okay, that was the priming one. So you let that prime, and then we'll try turning it on here. I think the point is to let the fuel get to the unit. So we'll let that prime for a moment, and then we'll turn this thing on and hope that it works. Let's see, what do we got the settings to? 30, ooh, yeah, okay, well, let's see. It's really hard to tell by the sounds of the unit out here because it's very windy. But got my pump pointed upward. I know everything's just cobbled together, but yeah, I literally just want to see if this thing's gonna work. Error code 6. Okay. That could very well be why we had error code 6. Well, that's funny because I could have sworn that I charged that battery up, but I didn't. So we got 13.5 on this one, so we know it's good. Let's hook this one up and see if we can get this working. I'm trying to beat the rain out here. I think we might have like another hour. So let me get this hooked up and cross your fingers that this old diesel heater still works. Okay, so I think we already kind of had it primed. Hopefully. We'll see. Error code 6! Okay, just so I could refresh my own memory, I had to look it up. Error code 6 on a diesel heater usually means a fan malfunction, often due to low voltage, incorrect fan sensor gap, or physical issues like obstructions, debris, but can also point to failing motor or motherboard fault. Okay. That was a lot of work just to try it, but we had to try it. We had to try it. It doesn't work. I mean, yeah, I could take it apart again, because that particular diesel heater was my very first one. I took it apart and reset the magnets in the fan. They weren't lining up properly, and that could be the issue again. But I'm not messing with it. I've got that brand new diesel heater. I just thought that if we could get this one working, I could go ahead and throw it in for now, but obviously it's not working. It's not the battery. The battery was good, as you saw. The first time was questionable, but now we know it's on a charged battery. It's above 13 volts. Yeah, so I'm not taking this one apart, you guys. Again, I'm not taking it apart to fix whatever it might be, motherboard, motor issues, the fan not properly aligning like the first time. Not doing it. So now I know that I can kind of set that one aside, use the parts on it for scrap, spares, whatever. And now I gotta dig out my brand new diesel heater, and I guess we get to test that out. Well, it actually fired on this time. I know the exhaust isn't in the best place here, but at this point I kind of just want to see what it's gonna do. The error code didn't come on. I opened up the back and I messed with the fan a little bit. Maybe if we can get all that to burn off, maybe that old heater will actually work. Ooh, that's so concerning. That's very concerning. Yeah, that's very concerning. I'm gonna shut this off. Oh my God. Wow. The crazy thing is that it's actually heating. But I don't quite know what to think here. I mean, why is it smoking like that? Like, if it does, oh, whoa. Usually it, oh geez. Usually it only does it for so many minutes, but like, that hasn't slowed down a bit. Huh. Okay, well that's less smoke now, isn't it? Am I crazy, or is it less smoke? I'll tell you also what it could be here in a second. I'm just honestly trying to see if that smoke will burn away. But that's warm air. I have it set to 30 degrees Celsius. I just saw like little bits of soot fly out of the exhaust pipe. It is getting cleaner looking. I know you guys probably think I'm crazy, but I also am wondering about something. I think the rain is starting. That's as high as it'll go, 35 degrees Celsius. We no longer have a lot of smoke coming from the exhaust, and as sketchy as that was, the diesel heater does still work. It's not, woo, yeah, okay, well, it does still work. And I know my exhaust shouldn't be pointed upward. This is just to test things out, like I said. That was scary at first, a little bit, but I'm gonna let that run for like 10 minutes, try to burn everything off. I don't know what to think. It does still work. That was just a lot of smoke. However, I think I know why it's doing that, possibly. Some of you might remember I actually installed the diesel heater under my fridge, and the heat was coming out of this vent right there. I had the exhaust pipe going outside, and a few of you mentioned in the video where I had installed it that I didn't have my exhaust angled downward enough. And you were right. Eventually, my diesel heater started smoking a lot, and then it just stopped working. And I don't really remember, but maybe I was getting this error 6 code or whatever. It's been a couple of years now, like 2 years. So basically, that diesel heater was sitting for the last little while. I just uninstalled it from under there maybe a month ago. When I removed it, the exhaust tube was full of like black liquid. Whether it was fuel, water, just black condensation. And that is the same exhaust pipe that I just reinstalled. So I don't know if it was burning all the stuff off in there, or, you know, burning everything off inside the unit. But now I know for certain that yes, you can put your exhaust pipe at a 90-degree angle or downward slope, but it was hard to tell from under my fridge. It may have not even been a full 90 degrees. It may have even been going upwards. Sorry, I hit the button on my camera. My exhaust may have even been going upwards a little, not a full 90, not downward. So yeah, when I uninstalled it like a month ago, I found all this liquidy black stuff in the exhaust tube. Now that I know the diesel heater is working, I might try to use it in the box truck for a little. I'm gonna start it and stop it a few different times and see if I get smoke like that. If it works how it's working now that the smoke is pushed all out of there, it's working fine. Oh, you've been running at least 5 or 10 minutes, so let's go take a look. Woo! Friggin' wind take my door. I also have to get this out of here before it starts raining. Yeah, we still got plenty of heat coming out of this. No more crazy smoke coming out of the exhaust. That's good. And like I said, nothing's really hooked up tight. I don't even have things clamped right now because my point was just to literally test this out. I'm happy about that. That is the old exhaust pipe. I will probably put the new exhaust pipe on from my new diesel heater if I put this one in the box truck. Let's shut this off. How do I? There. Off. It's powering down. And once this cools off, I am going to put it away and get it out of the rain. Okay, I'm pretty happy now that all that scary smoke disappeared, that this unit may actually still work for me. Alright, I grabbed my new exhaust pipe from my new diesel heater, a bunch of clamps. Slowly getting this diesel heater I just tested out back together as an all-in-one unit. Top for it's here. I'm gonna get in here, make this my little workstation for the next little while, try to get this back together as much as possible. Hooked up to the new exhaust port, and hopefully as long as it still works after all this, we will have heat on the days where it's not so warm, unlike today. And I think I might just be a little thirsty, so might just have to have a little bit. Okay. Okay, my temporary diesel heater install is installed. I've got it all hooked up. Now let's just hope it's not going to throw an error code 6 and it's actually going to work. So I've got it elevated up on some thick boards here for now. And I don't know what you can see, but my exhaust pipe, it's hard to see, it is going at a 90. Obviously, to have a downward slope, I'd have to put it up on something a little higher off the ground than these boards. But it is supposed to be okay at a 90, so here's hoping. Like I said, this is temporary. Obviously, if I were to drive somewhere, I would need to secure these into the board, secure the boards down to the floor. But my plan is, when I do drive somewhere, I'm gonna unhook the exhaust hose from the exhaust port there and set it off to the side somewhere. Let's try it out. Got it hooked up to the battery. I'm gonna turn this on, and man, if I get an error code 6, I'm done. One thing actually I should do is prime it the way I did before. How did that work? On. Let's prime it first, actually. I did lose a little bit of fuel when I unhooked it the first time, so that off. Okay, so now should be able to, whoops, fire it on. There we go. I hear the fan. We'll see how this goes, guys. It's completely dark outside, so I had to recharge my light here. I've always got batteries dying on me. That's part of being off-grid. Got a little bit of that startup smoke again, not nearly like it was before. No smoke in here. I've got everything pretty tight connection-wise on the exhaust pipe, obviously. I don't want any of that in here. Put it there for now, just to burn off any of that soot. Yes, I will put a carbon monoxide detector in here with me when I am running the diesel heater. It could be because it's a really mild day, but it doesn't feel like it's as hot as it used to get in the front there. I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to run this for a little while anyway and make sure everything's a go. Yeah, see, now it's definitely burning clean. There's no let it run for a good 5 minutes or whatever there, and now there's no serious smoke coming out. I don't know if that, since that diesel heater is probably like what, 5-6 years old, maybe it was just full of soot in there and you gotta burn that off every once in a while. I'm not sure. And it's raining, but I don't appear to have any water running from that, so that's good. Well, I think that concludes the temporary diesel heater setup. This is literally just to keep it warm in here while I'm in here working, because it's a freaking mess, sorry. For now it's working, and for now we'll leave the heater this way. I just left that little heat sleeve or whatever that is. It's a couple inches off of the wood floor. I almost gave up on that diesel heater. As soon as I saw the error code 6 twice, I really thought about just giving up on it. Kind of glad I didn't, because it does still work. So I may as well just use it for now as a temporary heater until I get the brand new one permanently installed and the exhaust plumbed through the floor. This is just something I can use to get me by in the meantime. It's still in cool down mode at the moment, as you can see. I think what I also might do is, when I'm not in here using this, I'll probably disconnect that monitor. Not that the monitor uses a lot of battery, but it'll help save some juice on the battery by just unhooking that monitor. Okay, we have a heat source in here for now anyway. Temporary, like I said, but still a heat source, at least for the winter. I think that is going to be it from me here. Tomorrow I'm getting up bright and early and going to see Ramsay. I will let him know that you all said hi, and I know some of you really do miss him, so yeah, I'm excited to see him. But that's it from me here. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so I fired it up again. I'm not getting the smoke that I was getting before, which is nice. It's just kind of exhausting clean again. May have just taken a couple different times to, I don't know, clear the soot in the burn chamber maybe. But it seems a lot better now that this is like the third time I've started it up, or no, third or fourth, whatever. That's good. I'm glad. There we have it. That old diesel heater you have laying around just might still work.